Last week we discussed extinction, or the permanent loss of species, and mass extinction, or when 75% or more of the planet's species are lost in a relatively short geological time span. We said that the rate of species being lost is 6 to 8 per hour on average on a global basis, and that this is largely because of habitat loss, invasive species, pollution, and overharvesting. This rate of extinction is over 1,000 times greater than the background rate of extinction, or what would be the extinction rate under normal circumstances. We said that the loss of some species affect ecosystems more than others. For example, the loss of a keystone species would be especially detrimental to an ecosystem because keystone species, like bison or otters, have an outsized impact on ecosystem function. Similarly, if we lose a species which is filling a niche that is not filled by other species, this can also have a detrimental impact on ecosystems. Again, a niche is just the job of a species. And so if a species goes extinct and there's not another organism to take over its niche or its job, that would be very detrimental to an ecosystem. We also discussed the extinction vortex, or the idea that the loss of one species makes the loss of other species more likely and more rapid. And we said that as we lose more and more species, the loss of species increases in pace. Finally, we discussed the Endangered Species Act, and we said that the Endangered Species Act has a 99% success rate at protecting species that are listed, but we have a less successful rate in adding species to the endangered species list that need protection. This week we'll be focusing on the first of the causes of extinction, habitat loss. A habitat is the home of a species. It's a location that supports the physical needs of a species or an organism. Habitat loss is the loss of that habitat. Habitat loss is responsible for 85% of the extinctions that are occurring today, alone or with other causes of extinction. Habitats aren't always lost. Sometimes they're degraded. And so a habitat can be completely destroyed, or a habitat can remain but become less suitable to meet the needs of an organism. There's also habitat fragmentation. This occurs when an existing habitat is broken into smaller habitats. For example, if we have a 100-acre forest and we build a road down the middle of that forest to make two 50-acre forests, we will see a decrease in biodiversity in that ecosystem even though there's only a narrow road going down the middle, simply because we fragmented that habitat into two pieces. We will also talk about carrying capacity. This refers to the number and variety of species that a habitat can support. Carrying capacity in a way is very similar to the term biodiversity. Biodiversity is a reflection of the amount and variety of species found in an area. Carrying capacity refers to the ability of a habitat to support that level of biodiversity. The greater the carrying capacity, the more biodiversity a habitat can support. Our agenda for this week is very similar to previous weeks. On day 1, you'll be doing a data dive on habitat fragmentation. On day 2, you'll have core ideas. On day 3, you'll be doing an investigation on habitat fragmentation in a local habitat. On day 4, you'll have review and assessment. And on day 5, if there's time, you'll be doing career and community connections.